Welcome to Gautam classes. Today is our first lecture from the thermodynamics. As you know that if you are the IIT JEE and need experience, that is the very important chapter on the point of view of the marks. So in that those are the important topic and tricky topic. For that I am going to make a lecture. So microscopic properties of matter. As you know that how this macroscopic properties of the matter is arises. That macroscopic properties of matter arises by the bulk behavior of the matter. Bulk behavior of the matter in the sense those we can observe. Those we can see that by the naked eye, like a pressure change, temperature change, we can observe easily. But those are the microscopic properties like intermolecular force of attraction, interatomic force of attraction, that we cannot observe normally. So in that microscopic properties, there are two type of properties, intensive properties and extensive properties. So first is here intensive properties. You know what is that properties? The properties of the system which does not depend on amount or shape or size of the system. What is that? The thermodynamic properties which is independent on the amount or size of the system, that is called the intensive property. That means whatever we can change the either shape or size of the system, that properties of the matter is not going to change. Such type of properties is called the intensive properties. In that in for the example, pressure, temperature, density, specific heat, surface tension, refractive index, these all are example of the intensive properties. Second thing is coming, what do we mean by the extensive properties? Extensive properties, the thermodynamic properties, those depend on the shape and size of the system. What is shape and size of the system? That is called the extensive properties. So here in that extensive properties, that is the additive property. What is the extensive property? Extensive property is the additive property of the system. That means that the property we can add. So some resulting property will come, like a mass, volume, heat capacity, internal energy, enthalpy, entropy. These all are example of the intensive property. For example, just for the uh, visualization, I'm giving the one example. Suppose that we are having the any one box. This is the box. If that box we are taking whole box mass is m, and temperature of that box I'm taking what, T degree Celsius. Suppose that mass of the box is m and temperature is T degree Celsius. Now we are going to divide into two equal half. Once we divide it into two equal half, what will happen? That box, one half part of box having the mass m by 2, and second half of the mass of the box having the m by 2. But what about the temperature? Temperature doesn't change. Temperature will remain T degree Celsius. That will also remain T degree Celsius. So from here, what idea we got? Look here, by changing the shape of the, by changing the size of the system, here this properties is also changed. Look, once we are going to divide into two equal half, so m by 2, m by 2, that means mass of the system is what? That is the extensive properties. What we can say, that that is our extensive properties. But what about the temperature? Temperature is our intensive, because it is independent on what? Independent on the amount and size of the system. There is some very important point is here, because of from here most of the time they are asking the question. Look, in our NEET exam, how question is coming, sometime they are asking among the following which one is the intensive property, among the following which one is the extensive property. So if your memory power is good, you can keep all the physical quantity in your mind. Otherwise, sometimes they are asking, when we are taking the ratio of the two intensive property, what about the resultant? When we are taking the ratio of two extensive property, what about the resultant? So these all things I'm going to explain in that slide. Let's suppose that x and y are the arbitrary as intensive properties, then its addition, multiplication and division are also intensive property. That means we can take a ratio or addition or multiplication, anything, intensive property will remain intensive properties, that is not going to change. But what is happening in case of the extensive property? Suppose that we are taking x and y is our extensive property. So those are the sum of the extensive property that will remain extensive. That is not going to change. But ratio of the two extensive property, it will become the intensive property. What is that? If suppose that x upon y, x is our extensive property, for example, and y is also our extensive properties. So those are the resultant will come by that. That will be the intensive. What resultant will be intensive. Suppose that we are writing here density. You know that mass is equal to what? Volume into density. So density we can write here m by v. So beta, can you tell me what is the mass? Mass is our extensive property. Extensive property. What about the volume? Volume is our extensive property. Extensive property. So ratio of the two extensive property, what is the density? Density is our intensive property. Intensive property. And one more thing, we are going to take a ratio as well as if we are going to differentiate like dx by dy. When we are going to differentiate two extensive property, so our resultant will be what? Intensive. Differentiation of also two extensive property will become intensive. So this thing you have to keep in your mind, because that is the very important. And look, those are the intensive property, it's a non-additive. What is that? Intensive property is the non-additive. That means we cannot add the intensive property. But what about our extensive property? Extensive property is additive. What is that? Additive. We can add them. Extensive property is additive. And as I took the example of the density here, and one more thing, those are the extensive property. If extensive property we are going to define by the per mole or per volume or per gram. Anything we are defining for the per mole, per gram or per volume, so extensive property will become a intensive property. Suppose that here if I'm asking what about the volume? Volume is our extensive property. Volume is the extensive property. If that volume we are defining for the per mole, that means volume of the 1 mole gas, that is called the molar volume. So molar volume is our intensive property or extensive property. Molar volume is our intensive property. What is that? This we can say that this is our intensive property. And you know that heat capacity. So heat capacity you all are knowing very well. Heat capacity formula is that Q upon delta T. So actually heat capacity, those are, that is our extensive property. What is that? This is the extensive property. Heat capacity is our extensive property. But if same heat capacity we are going to define molar heat capacity and specific heat capacity. Heat capacity is our extensive property, but when we are coming in molar heat capacity or we are coming in specific heat capacity, specific heat capacity. So look, molar heat capacity and specific heat capacity both are the intensive property. Both are the intensive properties. Because both those are the molar heat capacity that we are defining for the per mole. This we are defining for the per mole, and specific heat capacity we are defining for what? That we are defining for the per gram. Molar heat capacity defining for the per mole, and specific heat capacity we are defining for the per gram. So hope everybody got the idea properly. What is the difference in intensive extensive property? When our two extensive property ratio will become intensive, and intensive property is non-additive in nature. Second thing is coming here, what state variable function. You know that what is the state variable function? Those are only depend on what initial and final state of the system. What is that? State variable function is or state variable physical quantity that is only depends on initial and final state of the system. What is means that suppose that somebody person A that is sitting in for example we are taking that person sitting in Rajasthan, that person present in Rajasthan, and second person B, it is present in Manali. You know that nowadays Manali temperature, what is that is the minus 2 degrees Celsius around. And what about the Rajasthan temperature? That is the 45 degrees Celsius around. So if person A moving from Rajasthan to the Manali, if anything he is carrying any box, suppose that that is the copper box, that copper box temperature is here what 45 degrees Celsius. If here he is in Rajasthan, so definitely copper box temperature is 45 degrees Celsius. Once he will reach at the Manali, so same temperature copper box will attain, that is will minus 2 degrees Celsius. So what is the like UP coming when we are going in from Rajasthan to Manali? First UP is coming, then after that Uttarakhand, then like that we are reaching our destination. So what is the UP temperature? What is the Delhi temperature? It is doesn't depend. That means our system is moving from UP, Delhi like that. So it doesn't depend on what about the temperature of the path. Only it is depends on what is the initial and final temperature. So those things only depends on the initial and final state, that is called the state variable function. So that is and the example of that state variable function: temperature, volume, pressure, internal energy, enthalpy. These all are state variable function. And you know that those are the cyclic process. What is the cyclic process? In that cyclic process, initial and final state is always same. What is the cyclic process? That is the really very important. In that cyclic process, initial state initial state always equal to what? Final state. That means system is roaming here and there. At the end of the time, once again it will return back into its initial state. So that is called the cyclic process. So for the cyclic process, change in state variable function always zero. Change in state variable function always zero. So here if anywhere this type of sign is present, that means what it is showing, that that is showing for the cyclic process. So integration over a one cycle, change in the state variable function will be zero. Suppose that question is coming, change in internal energy for the cyclic process, what is the value? That will be the zero. Why? Because of the initial and final state is same, so change will be zero. Second thing is coming, path function or path variable quantities. So path variable quantities only depend on the by which path our system is going on. Suppose that here also I am going to take one example. That is the person A. Or we are considering that is the state A, and that one is the state B. State A to B direct distance when we are counting, that is coming 10 kilometer. Same distance we are covering in this way. What is that? It is going by the C state, and that distance is coming 20 kilometer. If system is traveling by the A to B, so it is a covering distance 10 kilometer. When it is going ACB, it is covering the distance 20 kilometer. So where it is going to do the more work? Without any doubt, you can say that in A ACB path, it will do the more work, but in AB path, it will do the less work. That means what we can say that those are the work done, that is the path dependent function. Path dependent function. It is independent on what is the initial and final state. It is only depend on by which path our system is moving. So heat and work done, that is the two best example for the path dependent function. So look, based on that, I gave one question. A system is changed from state A to state B by one path and from B to A by another path. Look here, there is one A state, that is the B state. Firstly, system is going from this one, that is the path first. Second one, it is going by this, that is the path 2. So when a system changed A to B by one path and B to A by another path, if delta E1, by that we are getting the change in internal energy delta E1. Here we are getting what, delta E2. So it is going by this way and returning back in this way. So look, internal energy, those are the internal energy. It is the state function or path function. That is the state function. State function. So look in that, firstly system is moving from A to B, then once again it will return back into its initial state. And we know that those are the change in internal here, that is the state dependent quantity. So definitely if state dependent quantity, so if initial and final state both are the same, so what about the change? Change will come 0. Because if it is going in this direction returning back, so their sum will become what? If we are going to add them, that sum will become 0. Why? Because of the initial and final state both are same. So if that we are keeping positive, so definitely that will be the negative, and both is the same. If both magnitude is the same, so resultant will come 0. Which one is the correct answer? C is our correct answer. That is the really very important part of our thermodynamic. Around in our chemical thermodynamic, 30% problem you are going to solve by that concept. So what is the process? Anything which changes state of the system is called what? Process. Anything which is going to change the system is called process. So first thing is given here, isothermal process. If in the entire process there is no change in the temperature, what is no change in the temperature, or we can say that temperature remain constant. What is it? Temperature remain constant, remain constant in throughout the process, in throughout the process. Temperature remains constant in throughout the process. That means what about the change in temperature? So change in temperature we can write here 0. So in case of isothermal condition, change in temperature is 0, and you know that those are the internal energy, it is directly proportional to the temperature. So what about the change in internal energy for the isothermal process? Change in internal energy will also be the 0. Isobaric process, if pressure remains constant in throughout the process, pressure remains constant. If pressure remains constant, so what about the change in pressure? That will be the 0. So in isobaric process there is no change in the pressure. What about the adiabatic process? In adiabatic process there is no exchange between, there is no exchange of energy between system and surrounding. What? Between system and surrounding. There is no exchange of energy between system and surrounding. That is called the adiabatic process. And you know that what is the exchange energy? Exchange energy we are going to represent by the q. So q value is 0 always for what? Adiabatic process. Or also we can write the delta q. So delta q or q value always we are writing 0 for the adiabatic process, the process where there is no exchange of energy between system and surrounding. This type of process is called the adiabatic process. Isochoric process, if in throughout the process those are the volume of the system that remains constant. What is it? Volume remains constant. That means change in volume we can write 0. So in isochoric process, what about the work done? Work done we are writing 0. Always in case of isochoric process, work done will be 0 because of what is the formula of the work done? That is the minus P delta V. If change in volume is 0, so what about the work done? Work done will be 0. So always keep in our mind those are the isochoric process, in that work done will be 0. Cyclic process. This is the one special type of process in which initial and final state of the system. What is it? Initial and final state. Initial and final state of the system is same. Is called what? Cyclic process. Is called cyclic process. So like suppose that I am going to draw the PV diagram, pressure versus volume diagram. So if any system is present at state A and it is state B, so it is going firstly through this, then after that once again it will return back into state A, going by this one and returning back into its initial state. So such type of process is called what? Cyclic process. What is the cyclic process? Where initial and final state of the system is same, that is called the cyclic process. So in that cyclic process, those are the change in state variable function. In this process, in this process, change in state variable quantity always 0. Look here, like we are going to write the change in entropy in a cyclic process. So what about this value? That will come 0. Our internal energy is also a state variable function. So change in internal energy will be 0. And for the cyclic process, our temperature is also a state variable function. So what about the change in temperature? That will be the 0. So always you have to keep in your mind those are the state variable function. In a cyclic process, their change will come 0. So here I drawn the graph of pressure versus volume. So look, in that case, in isobaric process, there is no change in the pressure. Pressure remains constant and other thing is going to change. In isochoric process, there is no change in the volume. Volume remains constant. But when we are coming in isothermal and adiabatic condition, in that what is happening here, uh, curve difference is coming. In isothermal process, what is happening? There is curvature is less. Here curvature is more. That means those are the pressure volume change that will come more in case of the adiabatic process rather than the isothermal. By that only we can identify, and remaining most of the thing look it is similar to that adiabatic process. Only in case of curvature we can differentiate them. Second thing is coming reversible process or quasi-static process. You know that what is that reversible or quasi-static process? So before starting, I want to say that this is the total hypothetical process. That means this type of process is not existing in our nature. What is that? That is one type of hypothesis. And when we can say that that is the reversible process, when a difference between driving force and the opposing force is very small. What is that? When difference in our driving force and opposing force is very small and the process is carried out infinitesimally slowly, then the process is called what? A reversible process. So the process where driving force driving force and opposing force difference, driving force and opposing force difference is very less. Driving force and opposing force difference is very less. Such type of process, what we are telling? We are telling you quasi-static process or reversible process. And how we can visualize that? Just to imagine, we are having one movable piston. Okay, that is one movable piston. This is a thing. So here we are going to put one sand grain. That is a sand grain. So initially we are going to consider the pressure of that internal pressure is P and temperature we are considering that is the T. If we place the sand grain over that because of the movable piston, so what will happen? That pressure will apply in internal way. So definitely those are our piston. It will travel some distance and that distance it is going to travel in what? In inner. Suppose that by that it is traveling the distance, very, very small distance that we are going to say that dx. If dx distance it is going to travel inside, so volume is decreasing or not? Initial volume we are considering that is the V. So volume of the system is going to decrease. So if initial volume was the V, now it is a V minus dV. If dV volume difference is came, if volume is decreases, so what about the pressure? 100% pressure is going to increase. So suppose that pressure is increases by that what? Dp. If initial temperature was the T, if pressure is going to increase, so what about the temperature? Temperature will also increase. Very, very minute temperature difference will also come. And now if we are going to remove that sand grain, what? Once we are going to remove the sand grain, remove the sand grain. Once we remove the sand grain, immediately our those are the piston, it will attain its initial position. What? Our piston will attain its initial position immediately. Okay, so immediately it is going to attain its initial position. So once it will attain its initial position, that means what? We can say that here driving force and opposing force very, very minute. That means here in such type of process, those are the system and surrounding always they remain in the thermal equilibrium. What is that? In reversible process, in this process, system and system and surrounding always always remain in the always remains in the what? Always remains in the thermal equilibrium. Always remains in the thermal equilibrium. In this process, system and surrounding always remains in thermal equilibrium. And those are the changes coming in that reversible process. Always we are representing by the differential sign. Because of that is the very, very infinitesimal small changes coming by that. Look, just imagine that is a sand grain. What is around 1 milligram? That is the weight. So that weight we are dealing here. So it will we cannot observe, but definitely our piston will travel inside. So these all thing is happening, and that is the theoretical process. It is such type of process is not existing in our nature. Second thing, irreversible process. The process where a system and surrounding is not in thermal equilibrium, or system cannot return into its initial state. What we can say that system cannot return into its initial state. Initial state is called irreversible process. What is it? Is called irreversible process. A system which cannot return into its initial state is called what? Irreversible process. And such type of process is existing in our nature. So whatever thing is happening in our nature or in our surrounding, that is all following the irreversible process. So what we can say that this is the real process. This is the real process. That means thing is happening around us. Thing is happening around us, following irreversible process. Following irreversible process. So hope this lecture is useful for you. So for getting such type of useful lecture, please subscribe my channel. Thank you.